You can either walk the stage or pay off your brother's $80,000 loan. Choose. That's what my dad whispered in my ear, just seconds before my name was called at graduation. I stood frozen, my cap slipping, my heart pounding louder than the applause. My dream moment, the one I worked for in silence, with bloodshot eyes and ramen dinners, was now being held hostage. Like, share and subscribe if you believe in standing up for yourself, even when it's your own family against you. The crowd erupted as my name echoed across the hall. But my feet wouldn't move. My parents sat in the front row, smug, fake smiles stretched across their faces, knowing I was trapped. My brother, Kyle, didn't even look ashamed. He just leaned back, arms crossed, like this was normal. It wasn't. I had worked 3 jobs. I slept 4 hours a night. I skipped every party, every vacation, every break. And now, on the biggest day of my life, they wanted me to bail out the same brother who spent his nights gambling and his mornings hungover. I looked down at the diploma in the dean's hand. 1 step forward, and I'd finally be free. But 1 step forward also meant walking away from my so-called family. Because I knew, this wasn't a request. This was blackmail dressed as family duty. I'm not giving him a cent, I whispered through clenched teeth. Dad's smile vanished. Mom's eyes widened like I'd cursed in church. Kyle scoffed, muttering, "You wouldn't even have made it without us." That was the moment. The switch flipped. I took the stage. The crowd clapped. But I didn't smile. I wasn't done. Because what they didn't know was that I already paid for everything, just not the way they expected. As soon as the ceremony ended, Mom grabbed my wrist so hard it left a mark. "You're embarrassing us," she hissed. "We told your uncle you'd cover Kyle's loan by tonight. He's expecting the money." I yanked my arm away. "You told him what?" Without even asking me. Kyle sauntered up behind her, stuffing cake in his mouth like nothing mattered. "It's not even that deep, Sarah. You've got savings, right? What's 80 grand to you now that you've got your degree?" I stared at him, stunned. "What's 80 grand? 80 grand was the exact amount I had saved over the last 4 years. Secretly. Quietly. Hidden in a digital account I never told anyone about. That money wasn't just for me, it was my exit plan. My shot at a different life. My dream business. You knew, didn't you?" I turned to my mom. "You knew I had savings." She didn't even blink. "You live under our roof. Everything you earn belongs to the family. That's how it's always been." Kyle laughed. "Come on, sis. You really thought you were building an empire? You're not smarter than us." I felt something inside me snap. All these years, I thought the silence bought me peace. That if I just stayed quiet, kept my head down, I'd earn their respect. But they never respected me. They were waiting, watching, for the moment they could cash me in, and I knew exactly when they'd found out. That old iPad I left at home last Christmas. I forgot to wipe it. My banking app was logged in. They must have seen the balances. The business plan drafts. The investments. They didn't see a daughter. They saw a safety net. "I'm not paying a dime," I said, loud enough for people to turn. "Not for him. Not for any of you. You ungrateful little." Dad stormed forward, but someone stepped in. Mr. Langston. My computer science professor. He'd come to congratulate me. "Is everything all right?" he asked gently, eyeing my father. I straightened. "Actually, yes. I was just about to tell them something important." Mom narrowed her eyes. "What are you doing?" I smiled. "The first real one that day. I got an offer," I said. "From a major tech firm. And I'm moving across the country. Tonight." Kyle's face dropped. "Wait, what? You said you were staying." Dad growled, "You're not going anywhere. We had an agreement." "No," I said, stepping back. "You made a plan. I made a future. But I wasn't done because what they didn't know was I hadn't taken any job offer. I was the CEO now, and my next move would shake their entire world." Kyle lunged forward. "What do you mean, CEO? Of what?" "Your little school project." Dad pulled him back, but his eyes were locked on me now. "Sarah, don't start bluffing just to get out of family obligations. You owe us." I laughed. Not out of joy, but disbelief. "I owe you, for what? The years of ridicule? The countless times they told me I was just a girl who got lucky? The nights I cried myself to sleep while they poured money into Kyle's rehab, debts, and disasters? I looked them all dead in the eye. No bluff. I've been building something since I was 16. I used to sneak out at night to code in the campus library while you thought I was working late at Taco Bell. I built an app. Quietly. Perfectly. And last month, it hit 1 million active users. Mom blinked, confused. Dad's jaw tightened. Kyle. Looked like he just got punched in the face. I registered the company in my name. I own it. And guess what? A VC firm offered me a $2.2 million seed investment 3 weeks ago. I signed the deal yesterday. You could hear the silence.no applause. No congratulations. Just stunned, gaping mouths. Mr. Langston stepped beside me, grinning. She's being modest. The investors who called me couldn't stop raving about her code. One of them said she's the next female Elon Musk. My mom's mouth opened like she was about to say something, then closed. Dad shook his head slowly. You built a company, behind our backs? Behind your backs? I scoffed. You never cared enough to ask. You were too busy cleaning up Kyle's messes and blaming me for not being part of the family. Kyle stepped forward, voice shaking. So that's it? You're just gonna take the money and leave us behind? I stared at him, my golden boy brother. The one who crashed 2 cars, got bailed out of jail, and still got a celebration dinner. The one who always expected me to clean up after him, because that's what good sisters do. Yes, I said. That's exactly what I'm going to do. I turned and started walking toward the exit. But Dad's voice came after me. If you walk out now, don't expect to come back. I stopped, turned. Who said I ever wanted to come back? Gasps rippled through the crowd. People had gathered. Phones were out. My entire family was frozen, watching the one person they always underestimated finally break free, but they didn't know this was just the beginning, because the real twist? I had already bought something under their names, and it was about to change everything. 3 days later, they found out. I was sitting in a corner office, my office, overlooking downtown Austin, sipping black coffee and reviewing our next rollout strategy. My team buzzed with energy. We were prepping for a public launch. But my phone? It wouldn't stop ringing. 30 missed calls from Mom. 17 from Dad. Kyle had even messaged me on WhatsApp. What the hell did you do? Dad's screaming. Call me now. I didn't. Instead, I waited for the moment I knew was coming, and it came at exactly 3:12 p.m. My father barged into the building, yes, my building, followed by Kyle and my mom, their faces flushed with confusion and rage. Security tried to stop them, but I had already cleared them for entry. I wanted this confrontation to happen, right here, right now. You bought the house? Dad yelled as soon as he saw me. I smiled slowly. No. I bought 4 houses on the block. Including yours. Kyle looked like he'd swallowed glass. That's impossible. That property wasn't even listed. Everything's for sale when you offer above market price, I said calmly. Turns out, the landlord hated dealing with you guys anyway. Said it felt like doing business with toddlers. Mom finally spoke, her voice trembling. What are you trying to prove, Sarah? That you've got money now? That doesn't make you better than us. I stood, placing both hands on the desk. No, Mom. I'm not trying to prove anything. I'm just setting boundaries. I own your house. And the eviction notice? It went out yesterday. You have 30 days. You're evicting your own family? Kyle shouted, voice cracking. You're seriously doing this over a stupid loan? No, I said, walking slowly around the desk toward them. I'm doing this because for 22 years, I wasn't your daughter. I was your backup plan. Your emergency fund. Your emotional punching bag. And the minute I stopped being useful, you tried to trap me again. But this time, I was ready. Dad's face turned red. You think money changes everything? No, I said. I changed everything. I stepped closer to Kyle, locking eyes with him. And you? You'll need to find someone else to save you next time. Because this ATM just closed permanently. Silence. Just stunned silence. They came here to shame me, but they left exposed, because I didn't just walk away from their chains. I bought the keys, melted them, and built something unstoppable in their place, but the real revenge wasn't the money. It was what I was about to do next. A week later, the story hit local news. Young female tech CEO buys out toxic family's property, evicts them after graduation betrayal. The headline went viral overnight. Blogs picked it up. Reddit went wild. TikTokers were reenacting the scene with dramatic flair. The comment sections were brutal, but not toward me. People sided with me. Finally, someone stood up to generational manipulation. She didn't go no contact. She went corporate. This is what real revenge looks like. Queen behavior. I didn't post anything myself. I didn't need to. The truth had done all the talking for me. Meanwhile, my parents tried to spin it. They begged me privately to take the post down, to think about what people will say about the family name. I replied with a single line, "You never thought about my name." Then came Kyle's last message, "You ruined our lives." I stared at it for a moment. Then typed back, "No, Kyle. I just stopped letting you ruin mine." Blocked. That was the moment I truly felt it, freedom. I moved into a new penthouse downtown. The kind of place with floor-to-ceiling windows and a view that reminded me daily of how far I'd come. Every night, I sat by the glass with my laptop, working silently, just like I always had, but now, no one could take it from me. I started a scholarship fund for underdog girls in STEM. I named it after my grandmother, the only person who ever believed in me when I was a kid. And every time a new girl emailed me, saying she got accepted into her dream school because of me, I knew, this was the real win. Not the house. Not the money. Not the headlines, but breaking the cycle, and becoming everything they said I couldn't be, because the girl they tried to use, she's gone, and the woman I've become, she doesn't just survive, she builds empires.